Hi guys, this time a video about my gear that I sometimes bring on bike trips. So first let's explain a little bit about me. I work as a freelance travel journalist and photographer, mainly for magazines and newspapers in the Netherlands. Because, well, I'm Dutch. I wrote for the Irish Times before as well, so the newspaper in Ireland. And yeah, I started making photos with a small full-frame camera, and just then every time went a little bit further and further and further, and now I have all of this. So am I bringing everything on a bike journey? All this stuff? No, not everything. One time I bring those lenses, other time other lenses. So yes, I always bring a full frame camera, and I recently bought a new one, but I'm filming with that now, the Nikon D780. I decided not to go for a smaller camera because I already have all these lenses, and the smaller camera that I would like still kind of would be quite heavy. I don't go for a compact camera because okay, they do make nice pictures, but I think if you want to get your photos published in a magazine, yeah, the full frame cameras are still better, you know, especially in certain light conditions. Just there's more moments you can make photos. With a compact camera, maybe, you know, you wouldn't always have that possibility because the light isn't good, and with a full frame camera you just can do more different things. I shoot in RAW, so there's more possibilities to edit it. So yes, maybe it's a bit crazy, and if you would start buying a kit now, yeah, definitely look for the smaller solutions, and you know, it's probably enough, but I just really love photography, and I'm used to make pictures with DSLRs. I just love that, and the camera itself is really not that heavy. I mean, a bag of rice is also heavy, but of course you could go smaller, and especially if you don't want to take too much time, maybe, you know, it's enough to have just one you can put in your pocket. But I'm bringing a full frame, so I've been making photos with this D610 and recently bought the D780 because, well, more possibilities again, and especially the video is you have much more possibilities with video in this higher Nikon model. And I make more and more videos for my YouTube channels, but also sometimes for tourism boards. Because yeah, I mainly work for newspapers, magazines, but as you might know, it's not going so well in that industry. So I more and more also work for tourism boards to promote their destinations, and it's almost always about cycling. Then the lenses. For a long time I was bringing these two prime lenses, which is I always have to look what I have. I mean, one side I really care what I have and the gear I have, and I put a lot of thought in it and a lot of research, but I never really know. If you ask me how many millimeters is that prime lens, I'm like, what is it again? I have to think. I know. Most photographers wouldn't just know straight away. They just say exactly what they have. I don't know. I guess I'm a tech nerd, but not that much a tech nerd. Anyway, so I have a 24 millimeters prime lens and a 50 millimeters. 50 millimeters is kind of what you, if you know what the way your eyes look, and it's really nice for portrait pictures. This is more kind of wide angle for landscapes or yeah, pictures inside, like both. They're really good for making pictures inside as well. These two, they're quite light actually. You're able to make photos inside because this has 1.8 and this one as well, both parts are of 1.8. So they're great for outside and inside. The only thing is you have to change lenses a lot. You can't zoom, it's only 24 and 50. But I've using this for a long time, and I still sometimes just bring this because I think these are really good for making videos, and they're not so heavy. So if I'm holding my camera on a tripod, a small tripod, it might fall down with the heavier lenses, and with this it's just easier to put it on something. I mean, if I'm using the GoPro tripod. If I go on a big long trip, I'm not bringing my heavy tripod. I just bring this, and you can attach this to a tree or a fence, whatever you want, or just put it on the floor. And then if I use the camera with this lens, it's not that heavy and it will be nice and stable. Although still, a lot of times it falls down. It fell a few times on the ground, so from a table and stuff. So yeah, you're always taking a risk bringing gear on a bike trip. A year ago I decided to buy this lens because I didn't want to change so often anymore. This one is 24 to 70 millimeters and it has an aperture of 2.8, so still it's pretty good to make photos inside. And yeah, you can zoom, you can have much more options. The thing though is it's very heavy. It's pretty heavy. But yeah, if I bring this, then I don't bring the other lenses. I just bring this. And I bring this one as well. That's a 70 to 200 millimeters. I do bring that on most of my bike trips. I know it's big and heavy, but it's really cool if you want to have more depth in your picture. So if I make a picture of a cyclist, it really stands out. Yeah, that's an effect you really have with this lens. And of course it's nice if you see birdies or you know, a deer. Well, for birdies it's well, yeah, the bird has to be very close. It's an aperture of 4. The reason why I decided to go for 4 is if you take a lower number, the lens will get really, really heavy, and that's just not the idea. So I use this mostly outside. And yeah, this is the really big, huge lens. No, I don't bring this on long bike journeys. It's just way too heavy. It's really, really heavy. But I do bring this when I go for nice bike rides from my town and I want to make pictures of birds. This is great for birds. This is great for birds. Why can't I say birds properly? Yeah, 300 millimeters. Really, really cool. 4 apertures, 4. So another prime lens. Prime lenses are really, really good. I also have a teleconverter, so you can zoom in even more. I can also use it on the 70 to 200 millimeter lens. Yeah, for birds it's really great, but don't bring this on a long trip. Then I have my drone, the Mavic Air. Yeah, that goes now with me on most of my trips because it's actually not so big and heavy. It's just this, and you can bring a remote control. I always do. I think you have more control with it, but you can also do it only with your phone. So if you don't want to bring too much stuff, if you're really looking at the weight, you could just bring this and use your phone for navigation. You just, you know, if you want to do quite basic things, and that saves. I bring also 2 extra batteries for that, because you can fly around 20 minutes with it, but it's never really 20 minutes. It's more like 10 till 15 minutes. So what I try, yeah, I stop, I use that, and then I have 2 more stops left during that day to stop and make some drone footage. Sometimes I bring the GoPro. I don't film so much with the GoPro because I already have the full frame, which is better quality. But yeah, and I think filming from, you know, while you're cycling, you don't get the greatest images. Maybe sometimes for, you know, for a few seconds to show you're going fast or something. But I think it's really great for when you're swimming because it's waterproof. And I swim a lot, so I really like it for that. It's also cool for effects, you know, you can easily put it in something when you're filming. So, and it's really small and light. This is a GoPro Session. It's one of the older models though. It's really a few years old, so the new ones are probably much better. And for microphone, I started here with the Rode Lavalier, which is pretty cheap. I think it's 50 euro or something. And yeah, you just put that on and then connect it to your camera, and it's a much better sound than the DSLR has. It's a really good sound. Now I also have a Video Mic Pro I'm filming with that right now, which is even better. Really, really good microphone. And yeah, sometimes I bring my bigger tripod that I'm using right now. That's more for smaller journeys. If I'm somewhere for 2-3 days and I'm really there for stories, then I bring that. But when I'm on a long trip, like in Italy or America, and I'm going for weeks, I'm not bringing that heavy thing. Then I'm just basically bringing this lens or those two. I do mostly bring this though. Yeah, I know that's kind of crazy, but I really miss it when I don't have it. And at the start I didn't use it so much, but when you get more and more into photography and you learn more, you know, which settings you want to use and what kind of effect you want. Like you want that cyclist to really stand out, yeah, then this is just better. But I'm not going to give you a whole big photography course. And we'll make another video soon about that Mavic Air, because a lot of people came with questions. What it's like, is it easy, or does it take a lot of time on a cycling trip to set it up and stuff like that. So I make a separate video about that. Well, that's all I'm bringing. Hope that was useful for you. If you have any questions, please ask them below and I'll answer them. Maybe you have any tips for me. I mean, always welcome. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please put your thumb up and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye. Happy cycling.